Welcome back, Reason Seekers! Today, we're settling the AI war before it even begins. We're breaking down why Apple Intelligence is a masterful symphony of smarts and privacy, while Samsung's Galaxy AI is just a loud cover band playing Google's greatest hits. Let the digital demolition begin. The ecosystem integration is seamless, not bolted on. Apple didn't just add AI, it wove it into the very fabric of its operating systems. When Apple Intelligence summarizes a long email thread, that intelligence is already native to Mail, iPhone, iPad, and Mac. It's not a plugin or a third-party service you have to call upon. Samsung's Galaxy AI, on the other hand, feels like a collection of features duct-taped onto Android. You have to consciously activate a specific AI tool, making it feel disjointed and clunky. With Apple, the intelligence is ambient and contextual, working for you in the background without you even thinking about it. It's the difference between a master-planned city and a town where new buildings are just plopped down wherever there's space. One is an elegant, cohesive experience, the other is a chaotic mess. Apple Intelligence respects your privacy with superior on-device processing. This isn't just a feature, it's the entire philosophy. Apple Intelligence operates primarily on your device, using the power of Apple Silicon to analyze your personal data without it ever leaving your phone. Your photos, messages, and calendar entries remain securely yours. Samsung's Galaxy AI, powered heavily by Google Cloud, treats your data like a frequent flyer, sending it off to distant servers for processing. Do you really want your private conversations and photos analyzed in a data center somewhere just to generate a clever text summary? Apple understands that true intelligence is useless without trust. It built a system where your digital life isn't the raw material for a corporate algorithm. With Apple, privacy is the default, not a setting you have to hunt for in a forgotten menu. All right, pause the debate. We've laid out the facts. Now it's your turn to enter the arena. Drop your most savage, brilliant, or hilarious reason why Apple Intelligence reigns supreme in the comments below. The best arguments might just get immortalized in a future user's edition. Don't hold back. It's intuitively designed, not a confusing menu of tacked-on features. Apple Intelligence doesn't present you with a daunting dashboard of AI tools. It simply appears where you need it, when you need it. A subtle glow around a text field, a new option in a context menu. It's designed to be discovered naturally, enhancing tasks you already perform. Samsung, in contrast, throws its entire AI toolkit at you like a messy garage sale. You get a grab bag of features that feel like separate apps, forcing you to remember what each one does and how to activate it. It's the digital equivalent of a TV remote with 80 buttons you never touch. Apple built a cohesive system that anticipates your needs, while Samsung built a checklist of features to impress tech reviewers. One is a partner, the other is a homework assignment. Siri is finally the personal assistant we were promised, leaving Bixby in the dust. For years, Siri has been the tech world's favorite punchline. But with Apple Intelligence, it's like the awkward high school kid who spent the summer at a genius boot camp. This new Siri understands on-screen context, has awareness of your personal data, processed securely of course, and can take complex multi-app actions. You can ask it to pull up the document my boss sent yesterday, and it actually does it. Meanwhile, Bixby is still that assistant you accidentally trigger while trying to lower the volume, a digital ghost haunting the side button of Samsung phones. It's a forgotten experiment that most users disable on day one. Apple didn't just give Siri a tune-up, it performed a full brain transplant, finally delivering on the promise of a true personal assistant. The writing tools are professional grade, not just a keyboard gimmick. Apple's writing tools are a system-wide utility, not a novelty confined to the keyboard. Whether you're drafting a crucial email in Mail, composing a report in Pages, or taking notes, the intelligence is right there, ready to proofread, rewrite, or summarize your text with a single tap. The ability to adjust tone from professional to friendly is a legitimately powerful feature for communication, not just a party trick. Samsung's keyboard-based AI, by contrast, feels like a feature designed for spicing up text messages. It's a gimmick that's fun for a minute, but lacks the depth and integration required for serious work. Apple built a tool that genuinely improves your writing and productivity, while Samsung created a feature that helps you add more emojis. One is an executive assistant, the other is a clown. Genmoji is pure, unadulterated fun that Samsung can't replicate. Let's be honest, not every AI feature needs to rewrite your doctoral thesis. Sometimes you just want to send a picture of a T-Rex on a skateboard wearing a top hat. Genmoji is Apple's masterclass in digital joy, allowing you to create expressive, unique emoji-style images on the fly from a simple description. It's seamlessly integrated into your messaging, making it a natural extension of your personality. Samsung's approach to creative expression, by contrast, feels sterile and corporate, a predictable set of AI-generated stickers that feel like they were approved by a committee. Genmoji understands that modern communication is visual, personal, and delightfully weird. Apple gave users a tool for instant, boundless creativity, while Samsung offered a slightly more advanced clip art library. Apple uses ChatGPT strategically. It doesn't depend on it for core functions. Apple built its own powerful engine for what truly matters: your personal context, your data, and your privacy. Apple Intelligence is the foundation, handling the deeply personal tasks securely on device. ChatGPT is treated as a specialized consultant, brought in only when you explicitly grant permission for tasks that require broader world knowledge. You are always in control and always notified before any data is shared. Samsung, by contrast, is fundamentally dependent on Google's Cloud AI for its core functionality. It's less of a partnership and more of a reliance, handing over the keys to the kingdom. Apple built a sovereign intelligence and selectively consults an expert for trivia. Samsung just put a different logo on Google's AI and called it a day. Deeper app integration makes it genuinely useful, not a surface-level trick. Apple Intelligence can reach across different apps to complete complex tasks. You can ask Siri to pull up the photos from my trip to Paris and add them to a new note, and it will seamlessly navigate your photos library and create a document in Notes. This is true system-wide awareness. Samsung's Galaxy AI features, like Circle to Search, are flashy but shallow. They act as overlays on your screen, performing a single function without understanding the underlying apps or your personal context. It's the difference between a skilled personal assistant who can manage your entire workflow and a clever parlor trick that just looks up pictures. Apple built an intelligence that understands the entire orchestra of your apps, while Samsung built a gimmick that can only play one note. It understands your personal context without uploading your life to the cloud. This is the holy grail of personal AI, and Apple has cracked it. Apple Intelligence builds a semantic index of your personal information, your relationships, calendar events, recent communications, all entirely on your device. It knows who your mom is, what flight you're taking tomorrow, and which document you were working on this morning, without any of that data ever leaving your possession. This allows for incredibly powerful and relevant assistance. Samsung's AI has no choice but to send your request to the cloud to understand context, creating a massive privacy vulnerability. You're essentially trading your personal life for a summary of a web page. Apple Intelligence delivers personalized power with Fort Knox security, proving you don't have to sacrifice privacy for intelligence. Private cloud compute proves security is the foundation, not an afterthought. Even when Apple Intelligence needs more processing power, it refuses to compromise on privacy. Private cloud compute is a groundbreaking system that extends the security of your iPhone to the cloud. Your data is sent to dedicated servers running on Apple Silicon, it's never stored, and Apple itself cannot access it. Independent experts can even inspect the code to verify this promise. This is a level of transparent security that is simply unheard of. Samsung's use of Google Cloud, by comparison, operates behind a veil of corporate secrecy. You just have to trust that your data is being handled properly in a massive multi-tenant server farm. Apple didn't just add a security layer, they built an entirely new, verifiably private infrastructure from the ground up. The creative tools feel like magic, not a clunky science project. Using Apple's Image Playground feels like a conversation with a creative partner. You describe what you want, and a beautiful, polished image appears, perfectly matching Apple's aesthetic. The tools are intuitive, integrated, and designed for everyone. Samsung's generative image tools, on the other hand, often feel like you're beta testing a piece of lab equipment. The results can be unpredictable, the interface is clunky, and it feels detached from the core user experience. It's the difference between an artist's paintbrush and a set of command line prompts. Apple focuses on the user experience, making powerful technology feel effortless and magical. Samsung focuses on the raw capability, forgetting that technology is useless if it's a chore to use. One inspires creativity, the other requires a user manual. You get a consistent, powerful experience across iPhone, iPad, and Mac. Apple Intelligence isn't just an iPhone feature, it's a fundamental upgrade to Apple's entire product line. The same powerful writing tools, the same deeply integrated Siri, and the same privacy-first architecture are present and consistent whether you're on your phone, tablet, or computer. Your personal context syncs seamlessly and securely across your devices, so the intelligence understands your life from every angle. Samsung's Galaxy AI is an island. It's a set of features bolted onto their latest phones, with little to no integration with their tablets or laptops. This creates a fragmented and inconsistent user experience. With Apple, you're investing in an ecosystem of intelligence. With Samsung, you're just buying a phone with a few extra AI buttons that become obsolete with the next model. It focuses on solving real problems, not just searching for what's in a photo. Samsung's flagship AI feature is Circle to Search, a visually impressive but ultimately shallow tool for identifying objects. It answers the question, "What's that?" Apple Intelligence, in contrast, focuses on solving complex, multi-step problems that genuinely save you time. It helps you manage your inbox with priority notifications, summarize hours-long meetings, find a specific photo based on a complex natural language query, and draft better communications. These are real productivity enhancers, not just a cooler way to use a search engine. Apple is focused on utility and saving you cognitive load throughout your day. Samsung is focused on a demo-friendly gimmick that looks great in a commercial, but has limited practical application in your actual life. One is a tool, the other is a toy. This is a foundational OS upgrade, not a temporary marketing feature for one phone. Apple Intelligence is baked into the core of iOS 18, iPadOS 18, and macOS Sequoia. It's a fundamental shift in how these operating systems work, and it will be available to hundreds of millions of users, not just those who buy the newest flagship. This long-term vision ensures the platform will grow and evolve for years to come. Samsung's Galaxy AI was introduced as the headline feature for the S24 series, a marketing hook to drive sales for a specific product cycle. It feels temporary and transactional, likely to be superseded by Galaxy AI 2.0 next year, further fragmenting the user base. Apple is building a new foundation for personal computing that will last a decade. Samsung is building a billboard for its latest phone. There's no AI bloatware, just powerful integrated intelligence. When you use an Apple device with Apple Intelligence, you won't find a folder cluttered with a dozen different AI apps. The intelligence is ambient, residing within the apps you already use. There are no redundant services or confusing brand names to learn. It's just intelligence. Samsung devices, true to form, will come preloaded with a suite of Galaxy AI branded features, many of which will overlap with Google's own AI tools, which will also be on the phone. This creates a confusing, bloated experience where the user has to figure out which AI to use for what task. Apple's approach is clean, minimalist, and user-centric. Samsung's approach is a chaotic mess of competing services and marketing logos designed to appease corporate partners, not users. It's built on a foundation of user trust that Samsung simply cannot claim. For years, Apple has made privacy its core marketing pillar and a genuine engineering priority. They have a proven track record of fighting to protect user data. When they introduce a personal intelligence system, users are inclined to trust it because that trust has been earned over a decade. Samsung, on the other hand, operates within the Android ecosystem, which has a notoriously complex and often leaky approach to data privacy. Their business model is historically intertwined with data-hungry partners like Google. When Samsung says its AI is private, it's a new marketing claim. When Apple says it, it's a continuation of a deeply held corporate value. One is a promise, the other is a proven principle. And in the age of AI, that trust is everything. Apple's models are designed for elegance and polish, not just raw output. When you see the output from Apple Intelligence, whether it's a rewritten email or a generated image, there's a distinct Apple feel to it. It's polished, coherent, and adheres to a high standard of quality. The models are fine-tuned for usefulness and aesthetic elegance, not just to generate the most text or the wildest image. Samsung's AI, being heavily reliant on Google's more generalized models, can often produce results that are technically correct but lack finesse. They can feel generic, overly verbose, or visually jarring. It's the difference between a bespoke suit and an off-the-rack garment. Apple has trained its intelligence to have a sense of style and restraint, ensuring the AI feels like a tasteful extension of the Apple experience, not a chaotic third-party bot. It enhances your workflow instead of constantly interrupting it. Apple Intelligence works in the background, subtly offering suggestions and taking action only when it's genuinely helpful. It anticipates your needs without demanding your attention. Priority notifications, for example, quietly surface what's important, reducing distractions. The writing tools appear with a simple tap, never intruding on your creative process. Samsung's AI features often feel like interruptions. Circle to search requires you to stop what you're doing, long press a button, and perform a separate action, pulling you out of your flow. It's an active, multi-step process. Apple's philosophy is to reduce friction and make your existing workflow smoother and more efficient. Samsung's philosophy is to give you a new button to press. One is a silent partner, the other is a needy coworker. Apple Intelligence is a system-wide brain, not a feature isolated in a few apps. The power of Apple Intelligence comes from its omnipresence. It's the connective tissue that runs through the entire operating system, from mail and messages to photos and Safari. This deep system-level integration allows it to understand context and perform actions that span across the entire user experience. It's a central nervous system for your device. Samsung's Galaxy AI, by contrast, feels like a collection of disparate limbs. You have an AI feature in the keyboard, another in the photo editor, and one on the home screen. These features rarely, if ever, talk to each other. They are isolated pockets of intelligence in a largely unchanged OS. Apple upgraded the entire organism's brain, while Samsung just attached a few clever robotic arms. Apple built a true intelligence, while Samsung just reskinned Google's. Let's call a spade a spade. Apple invested billions and years of research to create its own foundational models, its own on-device processing architecture with the neural engine, and its own unique private cloud compute infrastructure. This is a vertically integrated, ground-up effort to define the future of personal AI. Samsung, on the other hand, largely took Google's Gemini models, wrapped them in a Galaxy AI marketing shell, and shipped them. While they may have done some fine-tuning, the core engine, the heavy lifting, and the underlying technology are not their own. One company is an architect, designing a revolutionary new building from the bedrock up. The other is an interior decorator, picking out new curtains for a house someone else built. It will only get smarter and more personal with every Apple device you own. Apple Intelligence is designed as a core part of the ecosystem, meaning its understanding of your personal context grows with every interaction across your iPhone, iPad, and Mac. The semantic index on your devices becomes richer and more nuanced over time, making the assistance it provides exponentially more valuable. It learns your life securely. Samsung's Galaxy AI is a static feature set tied to a specific phone model. It doesn't learn and grow with you across a wider ecosystem because that ecosystem doesn't have the same deep private integration. Investing in Apple Intelligence is an investment in a system that evolves with you. Buying a Samsung with Galaxy AI is like getting a clever appliance with a fixed set of functions that will feel outdated in a year. And there you have it. The case is closed. Thanks for watching the definitive breakdown. The debate doesn't end here, though. Get in the comments and add your own knockout blows. If you enjoyed the intellectual brawl, hit that subscribe button to catch the next showdown. 21 Reasons Why. Epic debates, legendary comments.